Hi guys, I'm the overnight caretaker at Aloha Animal Sanctuary, and I just live up the hill in a tiny house. I was previously the work trade, but now I moved up to the overnight caretaker position and also the animal caretaker position. And I hope you enjoy this video, just going through one of our days on site. Hi guys, right now we're just gonna give Coco his meds. We're gonna do some prepping. First thing I do is come in here, grab some gloves, and then go to the med shelf. And right now he has a crop infection, so he's on some antibiotics and a painkiller. So we're gonna get that all set up for him. All right, let's go get Coco. And I just always keep one hand around his neck so he doesn't peck me, knock on wood. Because meds isn't his favorite thing, but it's something that needs to be done. We're trying to get you better, Coco. Yeah, I hope he understands that. Yeah, so I just always place him on my lap here. Then I have the meds ready. And there's a certain method. You always have to make sure that you're not putting the pills down his trachea, his air hole, because it is pretty large. So you really gotta make sure it's down the throat pretty well. And he's all done. Good boy. So another thing we do is make sure that we get all of the eggs around the sanctuary. Our egg collection team, me, the overnight caretaker, and the work trade are also part of that. So we just want to come in here and make sure we collect all these before they hatch to control our wild chicken population. And we will track these and also compost them. So when you're on site and you find eggs, you just want to come over to this sign and scan the QR code and fill out this form about where you found it, how many eggs, if there was a nest, etc. And another thing I'll do is I'll step in for TLC, our Tender Love and Care team, if someone can't make it, and also Habitat Care as well. And right now we're just going to go brush the sheep. And they just recently got sheared by our volunteer Shay, so shout out to her. They're gonna be all nice and cool for the summer heat coming up. So yeah, we also train them to jump up on this for when they get their hoof care. And as you can see, Ho'o is very comfortable with it. So we just always like to come in here and get them used to the human interaction and human touch. So it really makes their shearing a lot easier, their hoof care a lot easier, and just makes them all around just more comfortable with interacting with humans and our volunteers and visitors that come. And another thing I do is I come in and check all of the pigs' hooves, make sure there's no mulch or rocks stuck in between their toes, or if they stepped on anything. And if there is any issues with their hooves, I will report that back to our animal wellness manager. And so, yeah, we're gonna go check out Ellie right now. Yeah, she loves belly rubs. So I like to come in here too, just on occasion, give them some loving, some TLC, some brushes. But I also will check their hooves here, see if there's any rocks, any irritation. And Ellie is kind of notorious for having dry hoof pads, so I'll just apply some Vaseline to them. Get her all nice and moisturized. And another thing I'll check on is if they do have any like wounds. As you can see here, she does have a little bit of a scab forming here, so I'm gonna go get some first aid ointment and some flyaway just to make her more comfortable and also aid in the healing process. And another thing I'll check is their walk, if they're limping and how their gait looks. If I do see a limp, I'll make sure to check out that hoof. And right now it seems like as they're up and walking around, they seem like they're all walking. Woo! Yoru likes to be a little instigator. But yeah, that's another thing I'll check for, just making sure their walk is okay. Hi, Pax.
Hi, my name's Brice. I am the work trade volunteer here. I took over for Jessica, who's also featured in this video. I got here about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and this is kind of a day in the life of what I do living on site and the tasks that I perform, how I help out Aloha Animal Sanctuary, and we're kind of going through some of that. We'll be going through if someone calls out for their shift, how I kind of fill in. We're gonna go through some of the special tasks that I do that, you know, could be done by a regular volunteer, but they're kind of outlier tasks that don't really fit under a specific description. So this is my little hideaway hale hut kind of thing. Right in here. So it's a bit of an outdoor, not quite camping, but close situation. So complete outdoor kitchen area, which looks like a mess right now. I'm very sorry. With a propane powered stove, a propane heated shower, and then everything else is solar. So the fridge is on solar. If I need to plug in my blender, that's all being powered with solar. All of that. And then this is where I actually sleep. It's basically just a wooden structure with, you can kind of see it, maybe you can't, but behind this privacy screen is just basically mosquito netting that you would see on the outsides of windows in a home. So it's just bigger scale version of that for the windows. So at night I hear everything. It's kind of being immersed in nature, which I really like, because I grew up in one of the few places in the United States that might be considered the exact opposite of being immersed with nature. I grew up in New York City. So this is definitely a change of pace for me, but it's something that I've been craving for a long time. We're starting a day in my life. A day in my life always consists of this guy, Momo, and this other chicken over here named Pepe. They switch every day. So one day, which is like today, Mo is out here, has full free reign, and Pepe is in this little enclosure. Tomorrow they will switch, so I switch them in the mornings usually. And this is because they started to fight each other. They can't see anything. Well, Mo maybe a little bit. They can't see, but they still fight each other. So, you know, they need to be separated. Sad, because they would probably be great friends, but, you know, couldn't happen that way. So then once I switch them, which I already did this morning, I just pick one of them up and bring them to the enclosure, let the other one out, and they're switched. After I do that, I collect their food and water bowls and I clean them. And I also switch these out in the afternoon when I feed them their lunch / dinner, PM feeding. They get fed twice a day. So then I dry their bowls, because otherwise the food will kind of stick to the bottom and get all congealed and everything. So when I feed them, his name's Mo, M-O-E. It stands for Mr. One Eye. And it's because he has only one eye, but he can see pretty well. We think, at least, that he can see pretty well out of the one eye that he has. So he can usually be left to his own devices when it comes to eating. But Pepe, who's in the enclosure today, even though he has both of his eyes intact still, he can't really see out of either of them. So I typically sit with him while I feed him and tap on the bowl so that he knows where it is. Otherwise, he'll like walk into it, tip it over, not know where it is. And there are these little birds that are currently sitting on top of the solar panels that I have here, which power pretty much everything here except for the shower and the stove. Those are both propane powered for their heating. They sit on this solar panel, and it's like they're waiting for them to get fed, and they will go, because they can fit in the little holes in the enclosure, and they'll eat his food and they'll eat Mo's. Mo, since he can see, it's a little bit, he's able to fend it off better, but Pepe really can't. So I need to stay with him while he eats so that he's not getting his food taken by these other birds so that he can actually, you know, get the nutrients that he needs. And it's supposed to be 1/4 a cup for each of them. I just eyeball it. And they can get a little extra because it's Sunday. So sometimes what they like to do also is like kick it, and then they'll flip their food bowl over, and I'm like, okay, that I don't know why you did that, but if that's what you want to do, then that's fine. And then this is Mo's water bowl. There's a second one over here, but I just use this one more. Just my preference. Yes, hi. Does that mean you like your food? I hope so. I can't speak chicken yet. Okay, and it's a rainy day in Kaneohe again, as per usual. All right, so now we're with Pepe, and I put his water bowl down, and then you're getting rained on, buddy. I'm sorry. And then I kind of tap on his bowl like this so that he can hear it. This is what I do until he's pretty much 80 to 90% done with his food. Because, you know, I noticed that he wasn't eating and we need to get him fed, right? All right, so I just lay these all out on the floor. We need 6 bowls, 1 for each piggy, even though none of them stick to a bowl. They all share. Well, each bowl gets 4 cups of food. So since this is 2 cups, we're doing 2 scoops in each bowl. So then after this, and I'll have to grab the water, but we put water in all the bowls to make it kind of like an oatmeal consistency. And then a few times a week, we get produce shipments from Down to Earth. And they get produce with their breakfast. We already got our shipment this week, so we went through it already. So they won't be getting that today, but that's just something that occasionally happens throughout the week. We have these recycled water jugs, and I usually fill up 2 of them. That's usually more than enough. This one's almost completely full. Okay. So I just split up the 2 jugs between the 6 bowls. So I put a little bit in each one so that they all have a little bit. And then I'm gonna have water left over, and then I'm able to do the full amount. It's taking these bowls to the pigs and running the chicken gauntlet. Kana is at the bottom of the totem pole, so I always make sure that he's at a bowl because he always gets pushed out first. No, sir. Haku. Haku has to be the first at every bowl because he wants to make sure he's getting the best food possible. and the most food possible. So 3 days a week, Miss Ellie here gets laser therapy, which essentially we go over the muscles in her legs because she has pretty bad arthritis, because we don't know exactly how old she is, but she's definitely between 13 to 16 years old. So we do this laser therapy for her. We try to do 15 minutes, but realistically, we end up doing a little bit less than that because of, you know, sometimes she'll get up, sometimes another pig will bother her and kind of start a bit of a ruckus. So we do what we can, and we hope she appreciates it. So, alrighty. So I gotta get her on her side, and we do that by giving belly rubs. Good job, girlfriend. Okay. Someone explained it to me once. It's kind of like breaking down the stiff tissue and all that to make it easier for her to move around. So we focus on her hip and her knee, and this, I think that's her stifle, but I'm not 100% sure. So if I'm not able to do, say, this is her right side, another day I'll try to focus on her left. So it's kind of working with them and doing, you know, what they're comfortable with in a given day.